Hello and welcome back to the Coach's Hour, the podcast dedicated in helping you become a higher level coach. You're here with myself, him, and my co-host, Coach Godwin Dubai. Quick comment before we start. We don't run ads. We don't sell mid-roll nonsense. So this is just value. So if you get anything from these podcasts, we only ask for one thing, which is very simple. Leave a review, subscribe, and share it with someone in your circle. Because that's how we're going to be able to keep growing. With that said, let's get into today's episode. So today's episode is all about copying people's content. And Coach Godwin Dubai has something to say about this.
Yeah, well, I flew over. Thank you for flying me in. Five-star flight, Emirates, first class. It's an interesting couple of weeks, I think.
Yeah.
It's the first time it's happened, but yeah, it was very, very strange, I'll say. And I actually reached out to him. So
for the listeners who maybe don't follow you or don't know what's going on, if you don't follow him, what's going on? But what actually happened?
Okay, let me bring it back. So I put a post out, and it went quote unquote viral. So like quite a big reach, and it was very resonating with a lot of personal trainers and a lot of people. So put it out a couple of weeks ago. Closed my phone, don't really keep track of it. Woke up to a DM. One of my old clients that lives in Dubai was like, "Hey, this guy is you," and sent me the post. First thing in the morning, bear in mind, so I'm just rubbing my eyes. I'm like, about to take a look. It's bloody someone else's head on my shoulders on every single slide of the carousel. The words are exactly the same. He's wearing my uniform. It's crazy. My first thought was I felt violated. I was like, what's going on here? And then I was like, okay, then there's nothing I can really do. The guy's from Dubai. This is the world we live in right now. He's obviously just put that post into Chat GPT or whatever else and said, just put my head. And he's got a really long neck as well. Like the whole thing's just distorted.
The edit was so bad. That's what made it more funny, because it's like, he obviously put in the effort to copy you, but then it wasn't really a good copy, because like the word, like on the other side of your shirt, right, it's got your logo. He's kept that on, by the way. And then this side it said personal trainer, but like the words personal training is like, it's like hovering off the t-shirt, and his head's like way too big for the body. So I thought it was quite funny. Like
literally, he would have been better off putting his own pictures in there, and it would have made sense. So yeah, that was an extreme version of copying, and
you could have just copied the text, right?
That's what I mean. Like, 'cause I've had that in the past, and I don't really call that copying, even though it can be. Like, you can take, but it took my brand. Like, there's me training clients in there. There's all sorts, and I was a little bit taken aback at first. And when I've calmed down, I was like, he's in Dubai, so I can't offer him out for a one-on-one or anything. And I just saw the funny side of it, and I was like, okay, it's a backhanded compliment. It's inspiring to him. So I just DM'd him, and I made a post about it literally straight away while my head was still hot. I made a post that done all right as well. And at the back of the post, I said, will he respond to this? And in my head, I thought it'd have been like embarrassed, ashamed, just probably blocked me or deleted the post. It's come in the comments like, yeah, it's me. It's a great post. I had to copy them shoulders. I was like, fair play. The compliment got me. I was like, fair play. And then he's DM'd me privately, and he's like, do you want me to take it down? And by that time, I'd already calmed down. I was like, you've pulled it up now. Like, just do what you want. It's going to happen. Because
was it only just that one post that he copied?
Yes.
No, but he had loads of ones, no?
No. It
was just the one?
The pictures were all the slides of the carousel. Right. So it was loads of pictures, but just one post.
Okay.
And I've done a little bit of digging. Like, he had 10K plus followers with only like 10 posts. And none of the posts had much reach. So that would lead me to believe he might have purchased followers, or because like normally when you've got a bigger account like that, you have engagement and lots of posts. Like, you don't normally get that many followers with just 12 posts. Yeah. So yeah, it was
maybe he's copied other people's one, and then he had to take those down.
Mate, do you know what? It wouldn't surprise me, It wouldn't surprise me. So
like he's the way he communicated is like he's had this experience before.
He might, yeah, because he's a bit calm about, like, for me, I was expecting a block and never to be spoken about again. But I say he handled it very well. He copied me, so I handled it very well. But yeah, that was my experience, and it made me think, like, in terms of like, that was an extreme example of copying, but the reason why I wasn't completely pissed off is because nothing is original anyway. Like, that post that I created wasn't completely original. It was just thoughts that I've had over time and probably that I've seen before. The difference being I've just made it my voice, my word in how I speak, and put my brand and images to it. So in that sense, I would have been happy if someone else would have taken the theme of the content and just put their own spin on it, which I've seen before. But that was a drastic example.
Yeah, I think it's mainly the whole like, taking the pictures and just putting your head on it. It's not like it's not like you're like a celebrity, you know, when you import your head into a celebrity, right? But it's kind of like, yeah, it's very strange behavior. Like you could easily just copy the text and put your own pictures.
But I think it's quite scary, like, because now I haven't, and I've done it a while ago. I don't put my son on social media anymore. And it's because, like, if someone had untoward thoughts, they could just take his head and just pull it anywhere, or take his likeness and pull it anywhere. And that was my personal example of that. It wasn't with him, it was with me. But I was like, AI is getting a bit, like, you could tell he had a long neck, but in 6 months, it'd probably be unrecognizable. The only thing I would give it away would be the brand. And it's like AI now is a little bit scary in terms of what it can do, and both in the good and the bad. But it makes me think about coaching as well, because that was one post, but a lot of coaches aren't original in their style of coaching, their ideas, etc. So like, if we think about content, someone might not steal content and post it on their page, but they hear a big creator say, this is the way to do something. And they'll just word for word plagiarize that with every single one of their clients. And now that is the way. And for me, just summarized a little bit of the industry in terms of no one really has thoughts anymore, their own thoughts. Everyone seems to just follow the big creator, the one that's best at artwork, the one that has the loudest voice, the one that calls people out. And that can be quite dangerous for our clients, because our clients are individual. We've spoken on previous episodes about the nuances to coaching the individual. And even though this is content, it links into the wider industry as a whole as well, doesn't it?
Yeah. I think it takes a very long time to even have your own opinion on something, if that makes sense. So like, I would say maybe we're all very similar in that way, where we are just borrowing opinions from other people when you start, right? And it's only until you do it yourself. It's only until you have, you've cycled through a good, few clients to then be able to be like, this was what, these people are talking about, but this is not actually my experience with it. And this is what I've kind of picked up on it. So I think it's quite hard to have like your own thoughts until you've been in the industry or been doing it for quite a while.
I completely agree with that, to be fair. And the phrase, it depends, comes to mind, because that's the best and worst phrase. A lot of coaches hide behind it depends because they don't know what they're talking about. But when you do know what you're talking about, it still depends, but it depends on certain parameters that you then can go on to give context to. But before you get to depends, as you just said, while you're learning, it is best to learn a specific framework. And then once you've got that framework on lock, you can then start to question it and be like, actually, this framework doesn't apply to this person. It depends on this factor here. But I think a lot of coaches now, because maybe of social media and Instagram, they have too much of a voice without the experience to back it up. So they'll have an opinion without being able to give the context for this scenario. And that may be the difference. Like, you've been in the industry a long time. I have. We were holding our craft before social media. So when we were copying, for lack of a better term, or learning the principles, we weren't then going online and saying, I've learned something new. This is the way for everyone. Where a lot of coaches now, they're doing that without the knowledge or context or experience to back it up.
Yeah. Maybe we were, and social media just wasn't
exactly.
so big.
No one heard about it then, so it's fine.
I definitely was very fixed in terms of my way of doing things for a very long time. But I think that just comes with a little bit, like you said, experience where you haven't been exposed to enough yet. So you think that this is the way, and then when you actually think about your clients and your results, and you don't have successes all the time, you quickly realize, is there something wrong with the approach, or is there more to it? And then you start looking for more answers. Maybe you do other courses, you learn from a different subset of people, and that's when you start to develop your own voice. Because I think if you're looking at, let's say you do transformation courses or things like that, and learn about nutrition, I think the core principle is still like everyone learns about calorie deficits, right? But then there's like small nuances that you're going to pick up between each person. So like if we're looking at fat loss and things like that, I've done probably the same course about 50 times or whatever, right? But every single time I've just taken a little bit different thing from each one, and over time that's combined with my experience of coaching clients. These are the things that I've pieced together to have my own system or my own way of delivering it, right?
Yeah, 100%. And like, you have to spend time learning from multiple sources, even within the same source. Because as you were speaking, I was thinking about RTS. You've done that a couple of times. And I'm going to bet that every single time you've done it, you've taken something new that you didn't realize or understand before, or weren't able to conceptualize before. And like, you've done it then, which is great. You took loads away, but you've had time to apply certain stuff, learn from other places. And when you take it again, you take it under a new lens and you see something different and you're like, that makes sense now. Or, I kind of disagree with that slightly, but the context being, I now know this. And as I say, like, not enough coaches invested themselves, and not enough people have that patience to be able to do a course. Like, people now do a course, tick box, social media, screenshot, I've done this course, qualified, I'm now a practitioner in hypnotherapy, whatever it is, hypnotherapy. And then that's it, they'll move on. Whereas you need to spend time cementing, applying, relearning, and then you'll have the nuance to be uniquely you. And that comes from coaching style, practice, content. I think content's just the icing on the cake that everyone's seeing. If we look at the coaches that are copying content, like, and I use the word copying loosely because nothing is original. But if you look at the coaches that are copying specifically, like without changing anything, look at their results. Probably not that many. Look at their style of coaching, probably rigid because they don't have any substance to back it up.
Yeah, because you're not trying to, like, there's still going to be, like you said, the core principles and things like that everyone's going to follow, or it's not original, right? But at some point, even if within copying like content, you still need to understand the content that you are copying as well. So like this guy that's copied you, right? He's, at some point, the clients are going to come to him, right? Maybe if he's copied loads, let's say he was copying loads of your posts, right? They're going to come to him expecting this one thing, right? That he's maybe preaching about or talking about on social media. But then it's like, how does he then coach somebody? Because he doesn't have that experience. It's not his stories. It's not what he's learned. He's just copied and pasted it.
Yeah.
So you don't have the knowledge.
Maybe I should have gone James Smith on him and done a whole YouTube segment. Well, this is kind of what we're doing now, isn't it? We have to tag him into when we release it. Some of it's going to be clipped up for Instagram. We'll tag him in it. We should have got him as a guest. Should have had a little picture of him there, shouldn't we?
That's it. We should have Zoom call him in. Ring him now.
Ring him now on the live, mate. You're famous.
That's it. But yeah, I think what happened with James Smith? James Smith did a YouTube video like a while back, and somebody literally copied James's video, like transcribed it, and just read it like
word for word.
And that's kind of scary, man, because you think video is your face, but
didn't the same person do it like a couple of times as well?
Yeah, a couple of times. I think Ricardo shared it as well. So it's not just like YouTube, it's also like multiple other streams where like, stories and things like that, he's copying, like saying exactly word for word.
Where's the line in all this? Like, when does it ever stop? Do you reckon it's going to get worse now with AI?
Actually, I don't know. I mean, you would hope. I mean, if you think about it, a lot of coaches are plagiarizing AI. They just copy ChatGPT word for word. It's just ChatGPT ain't gonna call you out and be like, "Hey, That's my
One day
post that I wrote.
it will.
Maybe, yeah. But yeah, it's no different, right? It's just, it might be a little bit less in terms of plagiarizing a individual person, but they're just copying it from a system, from Google, whatever, right? As well.
So how would you recommend that someone stays original then? Like, what do you, bearing in mind that there is no new thoughts, like nothing is completely original. So we're not speaking about you have to start from scratch. How would you advise someone that's newer in the industry or thinking, all right, then you told me I'm copying, I'm going to stop that now. What do I do instead?
I guess you got to think about, like, why are you copying other people in the beginning, right? Like, are you lacking ideas? Are you just lazy? Like, what's the reason behind copying? If you're just lacking ideas, then that's going to come down to potentially, do you truly know the people that you're trying to, like, what's the point in this social media post? Like, what are you trying to get? Are you just trying to get followers? Are you trying to just imitate somebody else? Are you trying to get clients? I think most people, for coaches, they're trying to get likes and follows and eventually more revenue, right? But yeah, so if that's what you're looking to do, is copying someone going to be that beneficial for you? You got to now think about, okay, I need to actually understand some of the shit that I'm copying as well.
See, you made a very interesting point there, and I'm probably going to go off on a little bit of a tangent, but I think coaches are making content for other coaches, not to get clients. And I think they want it for the validation of whoever this coach is respects me because I know what I'm talking about. Because if we are truly talking to clients or trying to get clients, we would speak in no scientific words whatsoever. It would be very simplistic, for lack of a better term. And that's not saying our clients are stupid, but they don't need to know the Krebs cycle. They don't need to know what a moment arm is. They don't need to know insert circadian rhythm here. They don't need to know any of that. They just need to know move a little bit more, eat a little bit better, sleep within these parameters around your lifestyle. You're not sleeping, circadian rhythm. We can fix it by simplify it. But on social media, everyone has a voice that is a little bit too scientific. And for me, that's pandering to other coaches, not to your clients. Like, I coach coaches, as do you. So your language will probably be a little bit more scientific because coaches understand that. But a lot of my content comes from the people I talk to every single day. So if you're a personal trainer that works in a gym with general population clients and you talk to them every single day, your content should be exactly what you speak to your clients about. Because if it works for them, it will work for people like them. If you just say the same thing online, maybe take their name out of it and just say exactly the same thing online.
Even then, with my content, I try not to, like, make it, because our assumption is that coaches understand it. But in my opinion, I don't think it's necessarily the case. Like we said in the previous podcast with Ant, was I think the current, like, coaches, they are what the old Gen Pop was, So you almost have to speak in a way where it's actually a bit more simplified and not too heavy. Because when I read posts and I'm like, I don't understand this. I'm not really interested in that.
Yeah, not engaged.
It just doesn't make any sense to me. But if I have some understanding of it and I feel like, okay, there's certain things, maybe there's some gaps in what I'm understanding here to a degree, right? Then I'm more likely to be a bit more engaged with it. So yeah, I still think you want to try to make it so that anyone can understand it.
I completely agree with that. And I think that some creators that are very smart, I'm not going to say they're not, but they create their content in a way, in my opinion, to sound superior, because they could easily say the same message, just toned down a little bit, but for whatever reason, they choose not to. And they forget the platform that they are on. A lot of people come to learn from Instagram. It's not a learning platform. You can give a snippet and an insight, but it's a social media, it's social. And a lot of, I'll say, the superiority coaches, like the mentors out there, that talk in my opinion, way too much science. They do that because they want to remain superior rather than just say the simplistic form that people actually do understand. But I guess it does work because that's where you get the people that are copying that word for word without understanding what it actually means and without understanding the context to it. So I think maybe in that case, both parties are to blame. The person for copying, but also the person for creating, because they've created it in a way that's not easily digestible for the platform it's on.
Yeah. And I mean, it's not a problem to speak more of a higher level. It just depends on who you're trying to speak to, right? So like Coach Kasim, he speaks in very...
Oh, you mentioned he's going to be in the comments now, isn't he?
I think he speaks to a very high level, in my opinion. Because, even some posts, I'm like, I don't know if I understand it fully. I need to read through it a few times.
So you are right. It's a high level, but it's Instagram. And this is why, like, because he came for me one time, like years ago, and I was just like, yeah, I get what you're saying. It's Instagram. Like, I ain't trying to explore the complexities. I'm going to give someone a baseline understanding, a snapshot, a visual that is still accurate. And then when they get deeper understanding, they can get the context to then question me and say, actually, what about this? And I would say, yes, in that case, you're absolutely right. But I'm not going to go from 0 to 100 straight away. Whereas I think he does a lot of times, and people like him, to go from 0 to 100 and expect people to be able to keep up. And then when people can't keep up, it's like, no, you're silly. I'm going to call you out on a post. It's like, hang on, not everyone's at your level, but we're on fucking social media. Like, create a private community if you want to speak to people at your level.
I think that's what's difficult about social media, is that anyone and everyone can view your posts. So it's very hard, even though you niche down, right? It's very hard to separate who you're talking to.
Yeah, but then just don't be a douche about, like, if someone isn't quite right, which is why I've got the problem with a lot of the call outs. If someone is doing something that's not quite right, don't make a video on it, DM them privately, and then say, I recommend you look at this, research this. If you need to, I can hop on a call with you. It might be charged, but I can hop on a call with you. That's, for me, the best way to do it, rather than spend time putting their back, like, green screening with their background. And like, I've seen it so much. I've started now going in comments myself, and I've got no clue about what's going on, but I see a coach calling out another coach, and the first thing I'll do is I'll go on that coach's page that's calling out, and if they don't have the credentials to be calling them out, I'm in the comments straight away. And I'm just like, I've done it a few times now. I've had it enough. I'm just like, if you got, and don't get me wrong, I think call outs are a bit anyway, but if you're good at what you do and you've got the credentials, you can chat your shit. That's fine. I might not agree with it, but I still respect your craft. But how dare you call people out if you've got zero credibility yourself? And I've seen it so much now, and I just start commenting like, mate, you should DM them, because if I took a look at your page, I could call you out.
Yeah, I think the way that you should approach the reaction videos is kind of like actually add value to that. So maybe it's, if you feel like it's a bit shallow on the context, right, you provide the context to it. You add a bit more, so okay, this creator's also missed out on this. You know, what about this, rather than directly say that, oh, this post is shit because you've missed out on all this. It's more like, don't forget, you know, yes, what he's saying is correct, but there's also these other layers. And that's the kind of way that I've been trying to do that whole green screen react kind of thing.
Yeah. But because, like, even with yours, like, I think it's different because you don't attack the person. And I think, like, a lot
sometimes I do.
Yeah, but I haven't looked properly. I'll go and have a little look, and we'll come back on another episode. Next episode, we'll come back on our. But, like, I think there's a way to do it as well. Like, because, like, a lot of the people, like, I'll go after business mentors, and very rarely do I say them by name because I don't like calling them out by name. But sometimes I do, and in my opinion, it's deserved because they're scam artists. So if someone is chronically giving out bad information, if I've DM'd them and they're ignoring me and I've saw that they've injured a client, 100% call them out. But a lot of people that are being called out are genuinely aren't doing it on purpose. They aren't giving misinformation on purpose. They just don't know any better. So rather than try and raise them, they'll just crush them into the floor a little bit more. So as you said, like, give a bit of context, add value, and then probably DM them as well. I'm not sure that's happening. I don't know. But, like, it seems like someone wakes up and next thing you know, they've got a reaction video of them out. And they, like, the person who's made the video hasn't ever DM'd them and said, I don't agree with what you're saying. They've just put them on screen and said, this PT's daft. How have they got any clients? Ha, ha, ha. look on their page, they've got 0 results. It's just you in bodybuilding poses. And I'm like, how dare you? That 3 hours you spent reacting videos, going on the gym floor and coach someone, become a better coach yourself.
You just summarised Joey Swoll's content.
I should do Jewade Swole.
No, that's all he does, right? I don't know if he messages people, maybe he does, but he just blasts them on social media. And from what I see as well in the comments is that he deletes people's comments as well. So
see,
the person that actually tries to provide context behind it, because you see a snapshot of the video, right? And then sometimes it gets blown completely out of, like, he'll delete it.
See.
And then he reposts stuff as well. So like, like if it's been smushed already, right? And the guy's like, okay, I've changed my ways. He'll still repost old content. And then this person gets done for it again.
Yeah, I didn't know that. But interestingly, I saw it was an influencer. And I now know she got called out on his page a while ago. And she recently done like a parody of it where someone walked through the camera and she got irate, but she was taking a piss.
Mm-hmm.
And people were in the comments like, what are you doing? It's a free gym. You should be filming elsewhere. And then the person that was in the video that walked past was like, mate, you can't see, like, she was taking a piss, like, it's a joke. And then it went on Joey Swoll's content again. And he didn't obviously understand that it was taking a mick. And he was like, this girl should be dead. And I was like, she was taking the mick. Like, if you actually looked at the video, and even if I didn't know the girl, but I could see, because at first I was like, hang on, go and get another gym you're filming. And then when I actually watched it again, I was like, she's got a little bit of a smile on her face. She's looking at him funny. And then I read the comments and I was like, okay, she's taking a mick. So like, I didn't know that he does that, but it makes sense. But it's just engagement farming, isn't it, really?
I mean, that's his whole thing. And then funny enough, he decided to quit social media or whatever because I think he made some comments or whatever when he went live on TikTok, and everyone was like flaming.
Was that recently?
That was quite recent.
I seen it. I seen the apology video. I didn't see what happened.
And he's like, ugh. I think he's so fake.
Oh, you're gonna get us.
His little followers.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Someone's gonna tag him. I'm gonna tag him myself. I'm gonna have to.
Whatever. But actually, one of my clients got he did that exact thing to one of my clients.
Oh.
Yeah, and like she felt a bit like suffered from it in terms of like, obviously.
Did she get trolls?
Yeah, like loads of people messaging her, like, and I get it. Like, if you look at it from that someone else's point of view, right? I get that maybe what they do is probably wrong, but then the way that people go after them is crazy. It's like it is a cult, and this is completely off topic by the way, but it is a bit like, as a creator yourself, and you know that your followers do that, you need to have some control over what these people do and be like, look, don't message them, whatever, because people make mistakes. You think, and I'm kind of glad that it happened to him, because then he starts to understand, oh shit, this is what it feels like to get absolutely rinsed, right, by your own product of your own shit.
Have you been trolled before?
Do you know what? Kaz actually shared one of my posts.
Recently?
No, it was way back. And I didn't actually get blasted about it. One person came on and commented, and basically, because Kaz did a little breakdown of it, whatever, in terms of the exercise, right? And then, some guy came and commented on my thing, and I didn't reply, right? But in my head, I'm thinking, you would not have come up with that answer yourself unless you would have watched his video. So,
did Kaz DM you before?
Nah.
See, this is, and I would straight away, I'm so like, whether you're right or wrong, you're wrong. And I would have got so personal with him. I don't care if you're a big account or not. I'd have been so rude.
It was probably strange because me and Ben actually, Ben Yanes,
we
actually created the exact same video.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen his video beforehand, but he shared that video of this guy who was doing a lat pull down, whatever, like facing the wrong way or the other way, right? And when he shared it on his story, I was like, shit, that's the immediate thing that came into my head was to create that kind of content about it. And then, when I posted, I was like, oh shit, Ben's done. That was the first time I saw it, was on when Cash shared it. It's like we both did basically the same video.
That's meant. See, I don't, and I'd have been so upset.
Yeah.
Like, just to the fact, like, whether I'm right or wrong, don't repost me. That's the first red flag.
But maybe it was because we're both ex-students of his.
It doesn't matter.
So,
like, DM me. Like, and even if, like, don't make content off my mistake. Like, if you want to call the concept out and just say, I saw a post recently that said this.
But to give context to it, I think because we flamed that guy, right? So it's a little bit like, so.
So you called out. So you got called out from the corner. Yeah, you deserved it.
So then, do you know what I mean?
You deserved it.
But yeah, it wasn't so bad, but yeah.
Yeah, you deserved it. I'm on Cass's side now. Cass, coming to the coaches.
But yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, like 100%. Because like I've not been overwhelmingly trolled like with loads of thingy, but I get, especially when I was doing like Astagrass. I've done some mechanic stuff before, Astagrass and all that stuff, and I had the powerlifters come for me. And like I took one or two, like and I just started getting really rude. And when I got really rude, it just stopped straight away because I'll go from 0 to 100. And I'm very offensive, and I'm just like, but I ain't got time for it, because if you've taken time to come out of your way to say something supposedly mean to me, 100%. Like, I don't know what you think this is. You're gonna get it straight back with tax.
But the algorithm is mental now. Like the way that. There was a period of time where you every now and then you just get this random video that if you're scrolling, right, that you don't follow that kind of stuff, and it just comes up, and then straight away it's like, now I think the algorithm is like whatever gets high reach, high shares, high comments, high likes, it is going on your thing. Like, it just happens. So I think that's why every time you now scroll the explore page, if you notice, a lot of the videos or whatever, they have very high comments and likes. Very, very high.
And I've noticed, like, I'll click something random, let's say an animal, a dog vid. I don't like dogs, I don't have a dog. I click one on accident.
It's gone.
Next thing I know, dogs. My algorithm's done for days, dogs. And I'm just like, oh. Do you know what I mean?
Get a dog now.
Yeah, like literally, I've got me thinking, should I get a dog? Like, no, I can't even afford a dog. Like, and he's gonna walk it 4 times a day. So yeah. So just takeaway for this one is, when creating content, the way I would be original, or suggest you be original, is like just use your own stories. So like, if you speak about something with a client has a problem and you've helped them overcome that problem, speak about that on social media, because the science will be the same, how to adhere to a caloric deficit, but the way you got them to the end outcome will be unique to you and them. And that is taking an unoriginal topic, caloric deficit, and making it original with your own experience on it.
And the goal isn't to be the first person to say something. It's to actually understand what you're saying. That's the goal.
Cool.
So yeah, we hope you enjoyed this episode. As always, you can find me on socials. I'm at Gym with him, and my co-host is Jewade is at Coach Godwin Dubai.
Don't forget the hashtags.
And we'll catch you on the next Coach's Hour. It's a wrap.